Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 8th of December 2023. In today's newspaper analysis, we are going to cover the most important articles from the newspaper. Apart from this, we have also included a mapping topic for you. This mapping topic will help you to, let's say, solve questions in the prelims exam, right? So let us quickly see the list of articles that we are going to cover in today's newspaper analysis. So these are the articles that we are going to cover in today's analysis. So with this, let us see the first mapping topic, all right? So today we want to cover the mountain ranges in India. This topic may seem to be very difficult for many students who have not been doing mapping so far, but the thing is, like, I am going to try my best to make it simple for you, okay, so that you understand where are mountain ranges located, okay. So when we read about mountain ranges, we talk about mountains, I mean, like, that are fairly at a very high location, right. So like, its height is much above the sea level. And there are, let's say, ranges, mountain ranges that have subsided over the time period. So they have assumed the form of plateau. Plateaus are, let's say, highlands. They are higher than the ground level, but they are lower in height as compared to the mountains. So we are going to locate these mountain ranges today. So let us start locating the mountain ranges from north to south, all right, from north to south. If we talk about the northern portion over here, okay, northern portion, we are just going to locate the mountain ranges that are located inside India. We are not going to go outside, because outside India also, like if we talk about Pakistan, over here Suleiman range is there. If we talk about little bit north of it, right, some portion of Afghanistan, we have Pamir Knot, right. But the thing is, like, we want to locate the mountains that are located in India, so that if a question is asked, we should be able to answer those questions, all right. So the first mountain range is Karakoram mountain range. Here we can see this is Karakoram mountain range from here to here. Already it is red color, so I'll use blue color for our purpose, okay. So this is Karakoram mountain range over here, the northern portion we can see, right. Apart from this, we have Ladakh range. You see, this is Ladakh, right, over here. After this, the third one is Zaskar range, Zaskar mountain range, right. Then if we talk about Himalayas, Himalayas are divided into greater Himalayas. We have, let's say, middle Himalayas and lower Himalayas. The greater Himalayas, I mean, like, are the Himalayan ranges that have very high elevation as compared to the sea surface level, okay, as compared to sea level. So like we have this greater Himalayas, okay, greater Himalayas is this one. After this, after greater Himalayas, which is at a very high, let's say, altitude as compared to other regions, we have Shivalik range also. Shivalik range is also a part of Himalayas itself, but Shivalik range is, I mean, like, lesser, it has lesser altitude or lesser height as compared to the greater Himalayas. So we have located greater Himalayas. It ranges from, let's say, western portion of India, northwestern over here we can see, like, Kashmir, and it goes right up to the point of this northeastern state, which is Arunachal Pradesh, all right. So greater Himalayas has its range throughout India in the northern portion of India. Then we have, let's say, this greater Himalayas we have located, then Shivalik range. Shivalik range is also part of greater Himalayas itself, okay. It's also part of Himalayas itself. Its altitude or its height is less than greater Himalayas, that's the thing. Apart from this, we are going to locate some of the mountain ranges that are located in northeast India. For example, over here we see Garo Hills, Khasi Hills, Jaintia Hills, okay, Garo Hills, Khasi Hills and Jaintia Hills. So I'm just naming it 6, means all of them put together, taken together. So Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, they are located in northeast India. They are just little bit south of Assam. So like, a little to the south of Assam, we have some of the states over here. We have, let's say, this one is Tripura. So this is located to the north of Tripura, okay. So like it is located to the north of Mizoram. So over here we have, let's say, like, Garo Hills, Khasi Hills and Jaintia Hills that are located. Then if we move to the western portion, right, if we move to the western portion, so over here we have Aravalli range, okay, we have Aravalli range. So Aravalli range is a mountain range which is mostly located in the state of, right, in the state of Rajasthan. Mostly it is there in the state of Rajasthan, and some portion of it also extend to Delhi, okay, some portion of it extends to Delhi as well. After this Aravalli range, we are going to locate this one, which is, let's say, like, you know, Vindhya range, Vindhya range. This is 8th Vindhya range, we can see over here. So Vindhya range has, let's say, like its borders with Rajasthan, with Madhya Pradesh, like that over here. Then to the south of Vindhya range, we have Satpura range. This is Satpura range, okay, this is Satpura range. To the south of Satpura range, we have Mahadev Hills, okay, name of the hill is Mahadev Hills. Then there are plateaus also. As I discussed, plateaus are highlands, but their height is less than that of mountains, okay, their height is less than that of mountains. They are highlands, they are let's say flat on the top, but when we talk about mountains, so they are not flat on the top, so like, you know, their elevation is slanted, right, this is the thing. So we have this Chota Nagpur plateau, all right. Then we also have this Deccan plateau. Deccan plateau is also, let's say, a kind of highlands, we can say, this is the thing. Then if we talk about other mountain ranges in India, they are divided into, let's say, like, you know, long range. So if we talk about, this is western portion of India, this is eastern portion of India. To the western portion of India, we have Western Ghats. So Western Ghats means, like, you know, it is a mountainous range which is not very much continuous. There are two areas of discontinuity, but the thing is, like, it expands to a longer distance. Let's say half of India's, almost, let's say 40% of India is covered. 40% means in terms of length is covered by the Western Ghats. So in Western Ghats, we have, like, you know, Konkan range. So we have this, I mean, like, you know, different kind of hills. And to the south of it, we have Cardamom Hills. You can see Cardamom Hills. And if we talk about the eastern portion of India, right, eastern peninsular India, we have these Eastern Ghats, okay. Eastern Ghats means, like, you know, this, I mean, the area that it shares maritime border. This is known as Eastern Ghat, but over Eastern Ghats also we have mountain ranges or hills that have elevation, that have, let's say, altitude above 1200 meters, okay, above 1200 meters as compared to sea level, that's the thing. So these are the mountain ranges that are there. Apart from this, if we want to locate the plateaus, if you want to locate the mountain ranges, this is another, let's say, map, okay. So Garo Hills, Khasi Hills, Jayantia Hills, like that, and then we have similar hills. So you can refer to any one of these maps. Since this map was very much clear, so that's why I discussed with this one. In your free time, you can download the entire PDF document. You can go through these mapping regions, you can learn it. You can also keep a atlas with you. You can have a atlas, let's say Orient Black Swan atlas, or you can also keep Oxford Student Atlas with you. Any one of them will work, right? You need to continuously refer and visit those places that are in news. You need to go through some mapping regions, be it mountains, be it rivers, be it, let's say, other areas. For example, we do have the national parks, we have wildlife sanctuaries. So whenever a national park or a wildlife sanctuary is in news, you need to try to locate those places, okay. That will help you to, let's say, solve questions in the prelims exam. So with this, let us now quickly move to this particular topic. It is an editorial topic. We are going to discuss about this topic in detail. So this article has been written by a professor from JNU. So he is a professor of international relations, basically, right. So he has written that India's growing neighborhood dilemmas. So we need to understand about this factor. So when we talk about this article, right, we are going to discuss this article in detail. So this is topic number 1 for the day. It is India's growing neighborhood dilemmas. India's growing neighborhood dilemmas. So we are going to, let's say, understand about this. So why this topic is relevant? This topic is important under GS paper 2 of the mains exam. It is important under GS paper 2. It's a topic under international relations. So when you see the syllabus of UPSC, it says India and its neighborhood relations. And this article aptly means like it matches with that particular syllabus point. So we need to understand about India and its neighborhood relation. So when we talk about India as a country, right, when we talk about India as a country, India is located in South Asia, right, it is located in South Asia. But apart from India in South Asia, there are many other countries as well. I am just drawing a quick map, right, a quick map just to showcase, right, where is India located, just to showcase this thing. Let's say just a quick map of it, although maybe a little bit different from the actual map. So this is the quick map of India. We have just drawn a map. Here we need to understand that in South, like in this thing, in South Asia, right, not only India is a country, right, not only India is a country. How many other countries are there? There are many countries. For example, if we look at other countries, this is map of India. If we look at other countries over here, we have Sri Lanka as a country, right. Over here somewhere we have Maldives, right, we have Maldives. Maldives is an island nation. It has about 1192 islands in all. So 1192 islands are part of this Maldives. Then if we talk about the eastern portion of India, or over here, here we have a country, its name is Bangladesh. So we have Bangladesh. Over here, let's say we have Bhutan. Here we have Nepal. And here we have China, which is a big player. So with China we share, let's say, border. Then we have Myanmar, right. To the west of India we have Pakistan. Then we have Afghanistan, like that. So these are some of the countries that are immediate neighbors of India, that are located near to India, with which India shares borders. So with the northern countries over here, we share land borders. But some of the countries, for example, if we talk about Maldives and Sri Lanka, with these countries we share maritime border, right? We share maritime border. And when we talk about India, India has a foreign policy which is known as neighborhood first policy. What? We have neighborhood first policy in India, neighborhood first policy. So what is the, let's say, like, what is the highlight, why neighborhood first policy is important? Because under this particular policy we consider our neighborhoods to be our important, let's say, partner countries or our important countries in our foreign policy relationship. So whenever we are doing any kind of foreign policy with any other countries, we give utmost importance to our neighborhoods first, right? So in our neighborhood we have many countries that I have drawn over here just now. So neighborhood first policy is a kind of recent dynamic that has come. Earlier we used to have, let's say, look east policy. So to the east of India there are many countries with which, let's say, India shares borders, right? So we had look east policy, we had act east policies. And historically what has been the case? Historically India had, let's say, like, civilizational ties with many of these countries. For example, if we talk about Nepal, right? Buddhism has originated from Nepal. Lord Buddha was born in Nepal, in Lumbini. However, he has spent his lifetime, right, in India, in various portions of India, that includes Bodh Gaya also. And then he, let's say, passed away in India, right? So the thing is, we have, let's say, religious ties also with Nepal. And if we talk about Sri Lanka, with Sri Lanka also we have civilizational ties. Long back in ancient history, right, one of the king from India, Ashoka, he has sent his daughter Sangamitra to Sri Lanka. Why? To plant the first generation Bodhi tree in Sri Lanka, in Sri Radhapuram in Sri Lanka, all right. So Sri Lanka is a Buddhist majority country as of now, right. In Sri Lanka they have Sinhalese, right. So they practice, let's say, Buddhism. So with Sri Lanka also we have civilizational ties that date back to long period of time. And apart from this, if we talk about Bhutan, right, Bhutanese nationals, right, they are given jobs in India, in government jobs also we give them preference. And like, you know, with Bhutan, with Nepal, we do not have very highly fenced borders. Anyone who is from Nepal or Bhutan, if they want to come to India, they can easily come to India that way. If we talk about Bangladesh, right, earlier, long back, Bangladesh was, let's say, East Pakistan, right, after India became independent in 1947, right, and like it was divided into two dominions. One dominion was Pakistan, other was India. Pakistan was divided geographically into two locations. One location was West Pakistan that we see now, and the other location was East Pakistan, the country that has become Bangladesh later on in 1971. So Bangladesh became an independent country in 1971, and India has assisted, India has helped Bangladesh for its liberation. We have sent Shanti Bahini over here, right, this is the thing. And if we talk about, let's say, Pakistan, so with Pakistan there are historical relationships also, and since it got divided after independence, we have created some distance from Pakistan, okay. So like, you know, Indian people, although let's say they are our neighbors, but like, you know, other kind of rupture in the relationship has happened. With Afghanistan, we share good relations, right. We have been training soldiers of Afghanistan for warfare and all for a long time. But recently, their geopolitics has changed. Taliban has assumed power in Afghanistan after ousting the US-backed forces in Afghanistan. So the thing is, like, historically, with many of these South Asian countries, India has shared good relationship, right. But is the fundamental, is the dynamic still the same? No. In this article, the author says that the dynamic, the relationship that India used to enjoy with many of its neighboring countries no longer exist. The fundamentals of the relationship has changed, and that's why the author has named this article as India's growing neighborhood dilemma, right. So India is in a state of dilemma, means like, do we still enjoy the same kind of bonhomie, same kind of relationship with our neighborhood countries? Author says no. Why it is so? Because recently one of the factors that the author has talked about, right, one of the factor, like one of the dilemma, so I'm just going to write down one of the dilemma that the author has talked about in this article is that India still feels that it shares very good bond with the neighborhood countries, but recently what has happened? In Maldives there was a presidential election, and the person who was recently elected in Maldives, right, during his poll promise, during his election campaigns, he made announcements that we are going to expel all the Indian soldiers who are stationed in Maldives. Means he has taken an anti-India stand in the election in Maldives. And soon after he came to power, he has talked with, let's say, like, you know, Indian foreign minister, he has talked with, let's say, Indian diplomats to send back the Indian troops from Maldives. Why Indian troops were stationed in Maldives? It is because long back the government of India has gifted 2 helicopters, right, 2 fighter planes, right, to Maldives. And for repairing those fighter planes, for checking the upkeep of those fighter planes, India has sent around 78 soldiers. 78 soldiers means they are from various services. They are from Indian Air Force, they are from Indian military and all. So they are basically taking care of the aircraft that India has sent. But Maldives president, right, president-elect, has recently announced that he has talked with India, and they are sending back the soldiers, the army personals who were stationed in Maldives. So the thing is, this particular incident showcases that India no longer enjoys the kind of relationship that it used to enjoy long back. This is one problem. Apart from this, if we talk about Bangladesh, the government of India during the prime ministership of Indira Gandhi, that time, the government of India has sent Shanti Bahini. So that this Shanti Bahini means these were the soldiers, these were, let's say, army personals who were sent in civilian dresses so that they can assist the Bangladesh for its war against West Pakistan. That time we have assisted and many of our soldiers got killed also. And recently in Bangladesh they are creating a war memorial where they are going to, let's say, they are going to recognize the war heroes who have laid their life in the liberation movement of Bangladesh in 1971. But what is happening? In Bangladesh, an election season is going to come very soon. And the other party that is, let's say, expected to come in power, that party again has anti-India. They have anti-India stand. Okay, they have anti-India stand. So over here we have seen that in Maldives also, the president who just came to power, he has anti-India stand. And in Bangladesh, the party which is expected to come to power, which as of now we don't know which party is going to power, because like elections are going to be held free and fair. Maybe the same government that is there now in power may exist, and that government shares very good relationship with India. All right. So this is the thing. And when we talk about Bhutan, right, when we talk about Bhutan, what has happened? The Deputy Foreign Minister of Bhutan has recently visited China, and he has, let's say, discussed with the counterpart, Deputy Foreign Minister of China, and they have discussed for resolving the border disputes, right. So far they have had around 23 to 25 rounds of discussion with China to resolve the border disputes with China. But the thing is, the recent visit has assumed prominence because like they have come to a understanding between both the countries, like between China and Bhutan, that they are going to resolve the border conflicts, border related problems there between Bhutan and China. And at this point of time, Bhutan has also decided that, like, they are going to establish diplomatic ties with China. So far, China did not have its embassy in Bhutan, Bhutan did not have its embassy in China, but after the recent visit, they have decided to create diplomatic ties with Bhutan, okay, China and Bhutan. So this is also showcasing that our neighbors are slowly and gradually slipping away, right, from our, let's say, bonhomie, from our friendship. Same is the case with Nepal, right. Government of India has helped Nepal in drafting its constitution. So earlier Nepal was a monarchy, it was ruled by a ruler. But what has happened recently, I mean, like Nepal has got a constitution made, I think in the year of 2009. But the thing is, what government of India did, it assisted Nepal to create a constitution, it became a democracy. Now elections happen in Nepal. But the thing is, like, Nepal also has a pro-China policy at this point of time, okay. Means like we have lot of border tensions with Nepal at few places, like in Limpiadhura, that's one of the place. Then there is another place, Kalapani. There also, let's say, like, we have border disputes. With Pakistan, we already have a kind of anti-Pakistan sentiment in India. And if you go to Pakistan, inside Pakistan, so they have anti-India stand. And the thing is, like, India has thought that we are going to create a South Asia, we will have a South Asia bonhomie where we are going to, let's say, like, subtract China from here. So South Asia minus China will be India's, let's say, like, will be in India's interest. But that has not also happened, right. Now what is happening? Most of the nearby countries, they are slipping away from India's thing. And in Sri Lanka also, like, Sri Lanka, we had diplomatic ties, but like, few years back, some of their ports, some of their location has been given to China. For example, there is a port, I think Hambantota port, that was one of the port which was being built by China. Chinese government has stationed some of their forces in some of the ports. So China has a tendency of encircling India from different locations by coming closer to these countries. That's the thing. So the thing is, India still feels that it shares very good ties, civilizational ties, people to people contact with its neighborhood country. Is that notion is still valid? The author says no, it is not valid, because many of these countries have showcased pro-China policy. They have showcased, let's say, they have come closer to China. And China has one of the biggest project in the world, which is One Belt, One Road initiative, or it is known as Belt and Road initiative. So through Belt and Road initiative, it has connected many countries, right, in Asia, in let's say Middle East, and also it extends towards this like Europe as well. So in this article, basically author says that this is, I mean, like, you know, the picture that we see related to our neighborhood policy, it's not working. What we need to do, the author mentioned in this article. First of all, author said we can do 3 important things, or especially 4 important things. What is the first thing? It is time India made a mental switch and acknowledged that South Asia and its balance of power have changed fundamentally. Author says we need to understand that the balance of power or fundamentals of relationship with South Asia has changed. We need to have this thing in mind. Okay, this is one aspect. Apart from this, author says that old South Asia where India enjoyed primacy no longer exists. Okay, old South Asia where India enjoyed primacy, it no longer exists. Apart from this, the author says New Delhi must proactively pursue the involvement of friendly external actors in the region. This is the only way to deal with the impending possible of the region becoming Sino-centric. So author says, like, we need to have active effort to reach out to our neighboring countries so that we bring greater ties, greater relationship with them. Why it is important? It is because most of these countries have adopted a stand which is known as Sino-centric stand or pro-China policy, right? Pro-China policy. The third important thing that the author says, that Indian diplomacy must be flexible enough to engage multiple actors in each of the neighboring countries. The art of diplomacy is not about hating the anti-India elements in the neighborhood, but instead lessening their anti-India attitude. So author says that, like, you know, we need to have more diplomatic personals, those personals, I mean people who should actively seek out to create new ties, new relationship with our neighborhood countries. And in our neighborhood countries also, we need to identify which party or, like, you know, which party has anti-India stand. And author says we do not need to hate them. What we need to do, we need to make it sure that we lessen their tendency of anti-India stand. Okay, we need to lessen their anti-India stand, and we need to have flexible policies for different countries in South Asia. This is what the author is saying. And finally, author says, here is the highlight of an issue that has been spoken of ad nauseam. India needs more hands for its diplomatic pursuits. So finally, author says that, like, you know, as of now, we have less number of personals who are, let's say, involved in diplomatic pursuits. So we need more personals, more people who actively engage with our, let's say, neighborhood countries so that we can foster greater ties with them. So finally, in this article, the author says most South Asian states are skeptical of India's primacy in their own ways. Okay, this is the thing. So it is important for us that, like, you know, we need to strengthen our India's presence in our neighborhood countries. Okay, so with this, let us now move to another article. We will quickly understand this article. This article says problematizing periodization in history. Okay, so this article is deeply intellectual. This article may be little bit helpful for those people who have history optional subject, because, like, you know, through this article the author builds a narrative around periodization of in history, right? it says problematizing periodization in history. Periodization in history. This is an important article. So we need to understand about core concept in this article. So we need to understand what do we mean by periodization. Okay, what do we mean by periodization in history? Basically, this article is based on this particular notion, which is periodization of like in history. So we need to understand what do we mean by periodization in history and how it is problematic, right? How it is problematic, we need to understand that factor also. Basically, to understand this, I will let's say like make you understand this thing through a perspective, right? For example, when we read Indian history, right? When we read history in colleges, right? We divide history into various branches. For example, one of the branches is known as ancient Indian history, right? Or ancient history. I am just writing it just to shorten. One of the branches is known as ancient history. Then second branch, medieval history. Then let's say we'll have a third branch, modern history. What? We have modern history. Fourth, we have post-independence history. What? Post-independence history. And fifth one, let's say we also read world history. So all UPSC Civil Services aspirants whosoever are reading history, right, as part of GS preparation, they know about this, let's say like like classification of various portions of history. One of them is known as ancient history, medieval history, modern history, post-independence history and world history. So this is, let's say, divided on the basis of some periodic classification. Means in ancient history, this was the structure of the society, this was the structure of this thing. So there is something that divides ancient history from medieval history. There is something that divides medieval history from modern history. There is something that divides modern history from post-independence history. There is something that divides, let's say, like Indian history from world history. That's important. So to understand this particular portion, we need to understand modern history. Modern history means, let's say like the period from arrival of Gandhi from South, from the South Africa to India. After then, people start reading, let's say like Gandhian history and all. So they consider it to be a part of modern history, okay? Or we can consider it to be, let's say like long back also, little bit back. 1750s to 1947, modern history, like that. Then post-independence means just after India got independence in 1947 till now, whatever we study, that is known as post-independence history. Before that, let's say like before modern history, we had medieval history, there was an ancient history. So this is the current classification of history in India. But in this article, the author is saying that like the way that we periodize the history, it is problematic. Why it is problematic? Because those people who are writing the history, they are the ones who are at, let's say, an added advantage of including something and excluding something. For example, he says like this with multiple perspective. For example, he says that in India, right, in India, for example, we have this Vikrami, we have Shaka, we have Ilahi or era of PT in Islam coinciding with the Prophet, like that. So somewhere in the European, Europeans, what they have done, they have tried to classify Indian history into such a manner that like it gives some kind of notion that a particular period in history was bad because it was ruled by a ruler who was tyrant, a ruler who was anarchic, a ruler who, let's say, considered himself, right, a ruler who considered himself to be above all, above his citizens, like that, okay. So author gives multiple examples. Author says that what the Europeans have done, European has classified, right, they have classified or they have periodized their history into dark age of, okay, they have classified as dark age of European history, right, dark age of European history. This is one of the classification that they have done. And why they have told it dark age of European history? Because long back in Europe also there used to be some kind of superstition. So there was, let's say, like, a period where liberal thinking, liberal policies were not adopted. So they consider it to be dark age. And later on they have moved towards rational thing, means like, they became a rational society. And so since they became a rational society, then they have, let's say, named it as period of enlightenment or Renaissance, right, period of enlightenment or Renaissance. So this is the thing. So the periodization that happens in history, author says that it is problematic, because, like, here in India also we have this late antiquity, early medieval, late medieval, early modern, like that. So when we have classified this, as of now we consider that, like, we are in modern history, but what will happen? We are in 21st century. Where we are? We are in 21st century. So 21st century means 2001 to 2100, right? This is 21st century. What will happen in 22nd and 23rd century? Will the 22nd and 23rd century be not modern history? Will that not be considered modern history? That will also be a modern history when people will reach there. I mean, like, as of now, we will not be surviving, let's say, like, this century itself. Maybe, like, we don't survive this century, but our children, great grandchildren and all, they will be surviving. At that point of time, how they are going to name the history? They will say it to be modern history. Maybe some new classification comes. So author says that in different regions across the world, there is not a homogeneous trend. Different countries have adopted for themselves different ways of classification or different ways of periodization in history. It is based on which, let's say, power, like which particular party is in power, right? They try to, let's say, reinterpret the history in such a manner that, like, they blame one period in history to be dark period, other period to be a period of enlightenment, a period of, let's say, rational development in the society, okay. So author says that the transience of the notion of periodization is likely to become more manifest as history goes on to explore other areas of research. So author says that as of now, the societies across the world are evolving and lot of research is happening in different areas of history. And if more research happens in different areas of history, they are going to reinterpret the history in different ways. And if reinterpretation happens, they will come with the, let's say, like, they will confront this periodization. Maybe this periodization it may seem that it is problematic for the future researchers. So this is the thing. So this article basically is for those people who are studying history optional subject or who are studying history, right, deeply, so that they understand what is the problem with periodization, all right. So that will be all. So with this, let us now move to another article. So this article is, let's say, like, really good. It says no fate accompli. What? No fate accompli. We are going to discuss this article in detail now. This article is very, very important, let's say, for your UPSC exam or maybe for your understanding, okay. So this is topic number 3. No fate, okay, no fate accompli. Let's understand about this topic, no fate accompli. So what is this topic all about? in this article the author says that restoration of statehood and polls in Jammu and Kashmir should not be delayed further. So this article is related to Jammu and Kashmir, right? It is related to Jammu and Kashmir. So when we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, right, since the time of, let's say, independence of India, or since Jammu and Kashmir has signed the instrument of accession, right? So long back till 2019, what? Till 2019, what has happened? Earlier, the Jammu and Kashmir was a state in India. It was a state in India. But after 2019, what has happened? The statehood of Jammu and Kashmir has changed, right? Now it became Union Territory, right? So like we have Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir plus Union Territory of Ladakh, okay? We have Union Territory of Ladakh. So the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir has been changed by the central government. Before 2019, Jammu and Kashmir had a statehood. It was a state in India. But after 2019, it was divided into two union territories, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh, right? But in this article, what the author says, that this exercise of converting the state into union territory, it was, let's say, not a smooth process. What has happened then? So the government in Jammu and Kashmir that was there, so we are talking about the state government that was there in Jammu and Kashmir. So it was dissolved in 2019. The state government was dissolved in 2019. It came under governor's rule, and later on the governor's rule was converted into president's rule. What was done? Governor's rule was converted into president's rule. After implementing president's rule, what the central government has done? They have passed a bill in the parliament, right, to convert the state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh. And all those state political parties, their leaders, they were put into arrest. Initially they were arrested, later on they were put into house arrest, right? Later on they were put into house arrest. But after then, the people from the state of Jammu and Kashmir, especially the state political parties, they have approached the Supreme Court of India. And in Supreme Court of India, for so far, I mean, like, case was going on. And the Supreme Court of India is about to deliver a judgment in this case. And meanwhile, what the central government has done, central government has passed few legislations. I am going to write down the name of those legislations, but those legislations did not bring back the statehood in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And during the hearing of Jammu and Kashmir case in the Supreme Court of India, there was an instance where the Chief Justice of India has asked the Council of the central government that when are you going to bring back the statehood in Jammu and Kashmir, right? We are going to discuss little detail about it, but before that we need to understand that the Jammu and Kashmir, this union territory, right, this became a union territory, and this union territory has a legislature. What it has? It has a legislature. But the Ladakh, which is also a union territory, it has no legislature, right? What? It has no legislature, means it does not have a lawmaking body. But the Chief Justice of India has asked the Council of the central government that when are you going to bring back the statehood in Jammu and Kashmir, and the council responded that we are surely going to bring back, but they did not commit a time frame when they are going to bring back the statehood in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. That's the thing. We need to understand that Jammu and Kashmir is located in the northern portion of India, right? It is let's say, like, located in the northern. I'm just drawing a, let's say, like, rough map over here. So this is earlier the upper entire portion was Jammu and Kashmir, but later on what has happened, they have bifurcated, they have divided. On the eastern side we have Ladakh now, right? Ladakh was already there, but like it was not a union territory, and towards here we have Jammu and Kashmir. Now they are union territories, right? So in this article the author finally says that restoring the statehood for Jammu and Kashmir should not take much longer, because it has already happened, like 2019 the statehood was taken away. We are in 2023, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So author says that it has been 5.5 years, but around, let's say, around 4 or 5 years has happened so far. So in this article the author talks about some of the bills. One of the bill is Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Amendment Bill 2023. I am going to write down name of these bills for your understanding. Let me quickly write down name of these bills, so that you can at least remember the name of these bills. In future maybe there can be discussion on these bills. One of the bill is the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Amendment Bill. Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Amendment Bill. (2023). This is one of the bill, right? Apart from this, another bill was passed by the government, and this bill is known as, I am going to write, it is mentioned in this article itself, right? So, alright. So, Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Amendment Bill 2023. Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Bill 2023. What the government has done in the Jammu and Kashmir Amendment Bill, Reorganization Amendment Bill 2023, basically they have done a delimitation exercise in Jammu and Kashmir. After doing delimitation exercise, earlier there were 109, right, 109 state legislative assembly seats, but they have increased it to 114. This is the only change that they have done. If we talk about Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Bill, so over here in Jammu and Kashmir there were some tribal communities, for example some tribes, some scheduled caste. So what they have done, they have reclassified them as other backward classes. So through these bills the central government has not done much to bring back the statehood in Jammu and Kashmir. And through this article the author says that the central government should not delay it further to bring back the statehood in Jammu and Kashmir. This is what is said in this article. So with this, let us quickly move to another article. This is also from editorial section of today's newspaper. We are going to discuss about this article also. It says Gaza in flames. Israel should not be allowed to extend and expand the war against Palestinians. All right. So this is a topic from international relations. We are going to discuss about this topic quickly, right? This is topic number 4. It says Gaza in flames. Gaza in flames. We are going to be quick in understanding this article. To understand this, let me quickly draw a rough map, right? Let me quickly draw a rough map of Israel. Let's say this is a rough map of Israel. Over here somewhere, right, there is a region, and this particular region is known as Gaza Strip. Okay, it is known as Gaza Strip. And the other portion inside the yellow colored region, this is Israel. Okay, this is Israel. And if we talk about other countries in this region, over here we have Egypt, right? We have Egypt. Over here we have Lebanon. We have Syria. And we have one more country over here, okay? So these are the countries, and here we have Mediterranean Sea. We have Mediterranean Sea, like that, okay, over here. So what has happened? From this Gaza Strip, there was a group which is Hamas. Hamas was a political group and it was an armed group also. Hamas, if we talk about what is the meaning of Hamas, Hamas means Islamic resistance movement. Okay, it means Islamic resistance movement. Okay, Islamic resistance movement. So the thing is, there is history of warfare between Palestine and Israel, and this Gaza Strip is considered to be part of Palestine itself. To the west portion over here we have Gaza Strip, and over here, right, this particular entire territory, it is known as West Bank, and together the West Bank and Gaza Strip are considered to be territories of Palestine. Alright. So what has happened, from Gaza Strip there was a Hamas group. This Hamas group has attacked on Israel, and they have killed around 1200 Israeli people on 7th of October this year. And since under international law, any country that is attacked, let's say, it has a right to retaliate, it has a right of self-defense. So what they have done, they have launched a counter-offensive on Gaza Strip. In the northern portion of Gaza, so they have launched a counter-offensive by having a target. They have a military objective of eliminating Hamas. So from northern Gaza Strip, they have already displaced around 1.3, right, 1.3 million Palestinians. Okay, they have already displaced around 1.3 million Palestinians from the northern portion of Gaza Strip to the southern portion. They have bombarded most of the buildings. They have, let's say, like, devastated the infrastructure in the northern portion. So overall the population over here in Gaza Strip is around 2.5 million, 2.3 million. Now what Israel has done, they have started doing the attack in the southern portion of Gaza Strip also, over here in southern portion of Gaza Strip, right. Now these people, right, 2.3 million people, now they do not have proper place to go. And here, let's say over here, it shares border with Egypt. So near to Egypt, there is a place which is Rafah border. So basically most of the people are confined in this region. And earlier, there was an organization of the United Nations, which is known as United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. UNESCO has already termed that Gaza Strip has become a graveyard for children. What it has become? It has become a graveyard. Okay, it has become a graveyard of children. Means this particular region has become a living hell. And out of the 15,000 people or around 16,000 people who have been killed by Israelis over here, majority of them are children and women. 40% of them are children. So around 40% of the children are killed, right? Around 40% of the children are killed by by Israelis over here. They have killed, okay? This is the thing. So it is important for us to understand that many countries in the world, they have started doing resistance against this particular, let's say, reckless attack by Israel. What they are demanding now? They are demanding that Israel should stop, right? Should stop doing any further attack. And USA, the Secretary of State of USA, he has visited Israel and he has said that you stop it. And recently it was in news also that, like, USA, their Congress did not approve any further aid to Israel and Ukraine, right, in their current warfare that is happening. So with this, we will come to another topic quickly. This particular topic is related to regulating deepfakes. Okay, it is related to regulating deepfakes and artificial intelligence in India. Now, what is deepfake? We need to understand what is deepfake. So deepfake is a kind of video content, or it is image or audio or any kind of content that has been modified. What it has been done? It has been modified. It's not the original content, it has been modified so that one person can be impersonated as other person. And this modification happens using artificial intelligence, right? Recently there was an incident where what has happened, Rashmika Mandana, she is an actress in India, right, from South India. So like one deepfake video of Rashmika Mandana, let's say, was circulated in social media. That was a deepfake video. It was not her in real, but what has happened, a video of let's say an influencer, social media influencer, like on her video the face of Rashmika Mandanna was, let's say, overlapped using artificial intelligence. Since her face was overlapped, right, it seemed that that video belonged to her, and she had come online, she had come on Twitter X, right, and she has said that, like, this is such an incident that she has handled because she is mature now. Had she been in school or in college, she may not be having the courage of dealing with it. Okay, so this is not the only incidence of usage of deepfake. The deepfake videos have been used, right, in the cases of Ukraine-Russia war. The Ukrainian president Vladimir Zelensky, okay, Zelensky. So his video was created using deepfake, where he was, let's say, like, said, in that video it was said that he has asked his fellow citizens to put down arms and, let's say, like, surrender in front of Russians. But that was not real video, okay, it was a deepfake video. Similarly, related to India also, there have been many deepfake videos. One of the deepfake video concerns Manoj Tiwari, okay, Manoj Tiwari is a politician from BJP. So one of his deepfake video also circulated, where, like, he has been shown to have accused, let's say, Arvind Kejriwal, the Aam Aadmi Party. And another deepfake video came, right, where let's say Kamal Nath, the Congress chief in Madhya Pradesh, right, his deepfake video also came. So the thing is, through this article the author wants to say that we are going to have an election year now. In 2024 there will be a general election, and it is, let's say, feared that during 2024, during the year of general election, people can use deepfake to create false, misleading videos, right, to create false agenda, to rupture the, or let's say, like, to rupture the image of a politician, right. So it can have impact on democracy. So through this article the author wants to say that how the deepfake videos are being regulated. In India, like, India is taking the course of legal action only, that, like, using legal things. In India we do have legal provisions. One of the legal provision is section 66E of the Information Technology Act, right. And apart from this there are other sections also. For example, section 67, section 67A, section 67B of the Information Technology Act. These acts can be interpreted in such a manner so that a person who is impersonating using a deepfake video, or maybe a social media platform that where deepfake video or image is uploaded, right, so that can be tackled using these existing provisions of law. Because Government of India has also come up with IT rules in the year of 2021. Using those rules, what we can do, we can generally, like, we can, let's say, control these particular things. But India is only looking the legal way. But there are other countries also in the world that are seeking, let's say, technological solution also to deepfake. We are going to discuss about it. Over here, author has also discussed that in Indian Penal Code, in IPC, right, there are many provisions that relates to cyber crimes. One of the provision is section 509 that says words, gestures or acts intended to insult the modesty of women, right, it's a crime. Section 499, criminal defamation. Section 153A and B, spreading hate and communal lines, among others. Okay, so they can be interpreted. And what Rashmika Mandanna did, she got an FIR registered in Delhi, right, under section 465 forgery and section 469 forgery to harm the reputation, like that, okay, of a party in Mandanna case. Okay, so she got a FIR filed also. So in India we have a legal vacuum. So far India did not create any regulation related to artificial intelligence or to control the deep fake. Apart from this, if we talk about other countries, many other countries have not only taken the legal route, they have taken, let's say, technological route also. And there are some technological companies, what they have done, they have created some kind of systems, right, so that they can detect a deepfake video. Okay, they can detect a deepfake video and they can get it removed, right. In case of United States of America, what USA has done, USA has recently passed Deepfake Accountability Bill 2023, right? So this requires the creators to label deep fakes on online platforms and provide notifications of alterations to a video or other contents. Similarly, the European Union has also come up with a code. This is known as the European Code of Practice on Disinformation, to ensure that social media giants like Google, Meta, Twitter start flagging deepfake content or potentially face fines. Okay, this is the thing. So European Union has come up with European Union AI Act also, right? Apart from this AI Act, it has also made regulations for the tech giants like Facebook, Meta. Facebook means Meta means parent company of Facebook, Google, Twitter, etc. So this is the thing. So what next? Author says that, like, in India, the AI governance needs more robust, let's say, more robust implementation. And before this, there were earlier articles also. Those articles said that in India, we can create a regulatory body that can regulate the development of artificial intelligence in India. And that regulatory body can be made similar to, right? It can be made similar to SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, so that it is very much robust, so that we can tackle during the development phase itself, right? How the AI, artificial intelligence, is being developed, okay? So this is the thing. So with this, let us quickly move to another article. This is another article. It says, Supreme Court asks center to give details of inflow of illegal migrants. So basically, this particular article pertains to the state of Assam. Assam is a state in northeast India, okay? So let me quickly draw a map of northeast India over here itself, okay? So let me... Okay. So this is just a rough draft of northeast India. So in northeast India, the state of Assam looks like this. State of Assam is in the middle somewhere here, the blue colored, it shows Assam, right? What has happened to the south of Assam? We have this Bangladesh, okay? We have Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a country, right? Is a different country than India. So what has happened? Like, many people in Assam, they are of the opinion, they are of the belief that many Bangladeshi people have flooded into Assam. They have come to Assam and they have settled over there. After settling in Assam, they have changed the demographics in Assam. Not only they changed the demographics, they are now utilizing most of the resources of Assam. And so that's why these people are against the settlement of illegal immigrants in Assam. So basically, like, many factions from Assam, they have approached the Supreme Court of India and they have cited their concerns related to Section 6A of the Citizenship Act 1955. So what is Section 6A of the Citizenship Act 1955? So basically, in this section, so earlier also this case has arisen, and that time long back there was an Assam Accord. Assam Accord was signed in 1985 and it became a beacon for illegal immigration into Assam, okay? So these people are saying that according to Assam Accord, they have divided the, let's say, influx of these Bangladeshi people into Assam into 3 different time zones. So according to that, those people who came, right, those people who entered in Assam before January 1966, they were deemed as Indian citizens. And those who came between January 1, 1966 and March 25, 1971, they were registered as Indians provided that they fulfilled certain conditions, okay? So first thing is, those people who entered into Assam before 1st of January 1966, they were given the Indian citizenship. Those people who came after 1st of January 1966 till March 25, 1971, they were given Indian citizenship based on whether they fulfilled certain conditions or not. And the third time period was people who crossed over to India after March 25, 1971. They were considered as illegal migrants and were to be deported as per the law. All right, they were to be deported as per the law. So this is the thing. So what the Chief Justice of India said, that here in different, what is happening in different states in India, some states are coming up with this thing that, like, from this state many people are coming to our state, so we want to send back these people to their own states. For example, in Maharashtra, So Maharashtra, I mean, like, you know, they have some sentiment against the people from Bihar. Okay, so like the government, or maybe, like, you know, they somehow do not treat the people from Bihar the same way that they treat their Marathi people. All right. This is the case in many states in India. So the Chief Justice of India said that India is one. So one state cannot have a stand against the people of other state. But this should not be so in case of illegal immigration in India. So those people who are coming from other countries to some states in India, so it should be checked properly by the government of India whether these people came legally or not, whether they are, let's say, entitled to stay in India or not. So that's why this Chief Justice of India has demanded, right, has demanded from the central government to provide data related to this, okay, to file an affidavit, to share data with the Supreme Court of India regarding this. All right, so this is the thing. So this topic is good. So with this, we came to another very, very important article. This article is from Indian Polity. So recently, what the Supreme Court of India has done, it has made a video public. This video is related to the judgment in the Keshwanand Bharati case, okay. In the Keshwanand Bharati case, the Supreme Court of India has given a judgment where they have, let's say, come up with a new doctrine which is called as doctrine of basic structure, okay, doctrine of basic structure. So what is basic structure? Basically, like, you know, in this particular doctrine, they have declared that this doctrine of basic structure is the soul of the Constitution of India. So the central government cannot do away with the basic structure of the Constitution of India by amending, right, the Constitution through the Parliament, okay. So this basic structure doctrine has stood the test of the time. It has been 50 years. Means this Keshwanand Bharati case, its judgment was delivered by the Supreme Court of India on April 24, 1973. And so far in the Keshwanand Bharati case, they have had the largest judge bench, which is like it had 13 judge bench in the Supreme Court of India. So far, the Supreme Court of India has never created a bench, right, more than 13 judges. So this Keshwanand Bharati case is a landmark judgment of the Supreme Court of India. So Supreme Court of India has released a video of the judgment, right. This video is about 5 minutes long, right. So in this judgment, basically in this video, right, the judgment's details are mentioned, and not only this, this video has been released in multiple languages. It includes Hindi, right, means like it is in English, definitely it includes Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Odia, Malayalam, Gujarati, Kannada, Bengali, Assam, Assamese and Marathi. So like in these languages it was released, that's the thing. So with this, we have, let's say, covered all our articles today. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.